Should aim assist be in Call of Duty? I'm Tantos82. This is T82 Warzone Intel. Let's get into it. So I sat down with 3 streamers and content creators to talk about aim assist in Call of Duty. Now, if you've watched any of my content, you'll know that I play on mouse and keyboard, and these 3 guys all play on controller. In this podcast, we talk about whether aim assist should be in the game, whether it's overpowered, how can we change it? So, let me introduce the guests. First, we have BuyBakGav, who's a creator and streamer. He mainly puts all his stuff up on YouTube and Twitch and also TikTok. Gav loves the Gulag because he's always in there. Yes, you know it, Gav. Next, we have Faatgandalf, who also puts his content up on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok. A really skilled player. He also likes to play a bit of Apex Legends as well, so let's not hold that against him. Next, we have Jay. Jay is a really, really high skilled player. He plays in competitions. He's played in the World Series of Warzone. He puts his content up on Twitch. Now, after this video, I want you all to go down to the description and go to these guys' pages on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok and give them all a bit of love. Do the follows, do the likes, do the subscribes, do all that good stuff. Right, now we're going to show you the conversation that we had. Kick back, relax, and enjoy the content.
What we'll do is we'll go straight in then, and what are your general thoughts about aim assist in general? Talking about not necessarily how it's implemented in Warzone, Call of Duty, and to be fair, like the other games, because obviously a lot of them do take up this mechanic. What are your thoughts in general about aim assist?
Oh yeah, go on, Jay.
Go on, okay. So I think aim assist, especially, controllers obviously, but ever since console, it's been a thing, and it's pretty much needed. It's literally the only thing controller players can actually rely on in any gunfight, long range, close range, medium range, all of that. And I feel like that's pretty much the core of COD is aim assist.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
To build on what Jay's saying, it was really implemented as a way to sort of bridge the gap between the precision and speed of a mouse and key input, because thumbsticks can lack that precision and speed. So aim assist helps bridge that gap, which is why, as Jay mentioned, it is needed. It'll help you make those finer adjustments, even if it does feel like it locks onto an enemy. It improves, target acquisition. So I think it is very important for controllers to have some level of aim assist. Otherwise, the game would be unplayable. And given that loads of people, the majority of people who play first-person shooters, they play on a controller. If it didn't have aim assist, you would lose a large player base.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's been a thing since console, and
yeah, definitely.
The comparison of using just your thumb to aim versus using your whole arm and your shoulders to aim with a mouse is completely different.
Yeah, I mean we'll get into that in a sec because I've got my thoughts on that as well. But Gav, do you wanna go? Do you wanna?
Yeah, I mean I completely agree. It is definitely needed. I am the most bang average player ever. And when I'm actually using aim assist properly, when you engage in that rotational aim assist, it is very strong, but you do need to have it there. Otherwise, I'll just be shooting all over the place. Now, obviously, it depends on how good you are as a player. Because, I mean, we've all watched the professionals do it, and it looks like they have zero recoil at all times. And every COD pro is using a controller. They are putting time and effort into mastering how to use it best. Us casual players that are playing for a few hours during the week, we are not ever going to achieve that mastery. So we still need to have that given to us so that we can still try to compete and enjoy the game and play the game the way the devs actually want us to play it.
Yeah. I mean, as a mouse and keyboard player, my thoughts on it is I understand why it's there. I understand completely why it's part of not just Call of Duty, but Apex, all the other first-person shooters. I think the one thing that you guys didn't really touch on there is the casual player base, like the really low skilled players that are just jumping on for a couple of hours a week when they've been to work for God knows how many hours. And I think aim assist is there to help them guys, like mainly. I think that's, even though I know it was there, it's been in the game for a long time. I feel like that mechanic has now moved to help with the casuals, like the really casuals, should I say?
I put myself in that bracket.
Yeah.
Because
I'm just a casual player. If you put me against Jay with 0 aim assist, Jay will win because he is a better player, a much better player.
Yeah.
With aim assist, it's ridiculous what the difference is in how he can control it, how I can control it. I definitely need that just to play against the people at my skill level.
Yeah, I agree. I think my experience, obviously, when I used when I used the controller for a while, and coming from playing mouse and keys, I could see that I guess this is what I'm saying. Is I can see why it's there and how you would really struggle to compete if it wasn't there. And especially given to like I say, the low skilled players that can only jump on, and they're probably at their level where they aren't going to really get much better than what they are because they just won't have the time to put in. I think aim assist is there to compensate for that.
Yeah, because
100%.
If Call of Duty was to ever nerf nerf aim assist to an extent where it's extremely hard for players to actually aim and have a chance to actually become better at the game, they'll lose probably more than half their player base because people won't want to put in that time and effort because they can't.
Yeah, 100%. That's if you take aim assist out, the casual player base will probably jump to something else because it would be way too hard for them.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, definitely. I guess that probably leads on to the ultimate question: is aim assist overpowered? Is it too strong?
I think in the past it was, but now we have a good balance.
I think it's got a very good balance. Like when BO6 came out and they made the changes to it, I noticed that, especially even just in multiplayer, those really close range gunfights where normally aim assist would just pull you straight onto someone, because that was gone, suddenly those gunfights that I normally used to go into thinking, oh, I can win this, even though I was playing against a better player, suddenly I had been nerfed completely, and you've then got to train yourself to try and do better next time because you don't have that ultra short range aim assist in there.
Yeah, because when Black Ops 6 first came out, they introduced something that from a certain distance, I think it's like 3 or 5 meters from a player, you get 0 aim assist.
Yeah, I think I'd saying that. Did they not revert that so it was slightly shorter?
I think they made it longer.
They make it longer.
I don't know, but
yeah, go on.
Back in MW2, they introduced like aim assist types, like the Black Ops aim assist, all of that, and the start of MW2 Warzone, the Black Ops aim assist was pretty much aimbot. It was so strong.
Yeah.
Like, a mouse and keyboard player would literally think someone is cheating with the Black Ops aim assist. I think I have some clips somewhere of it, but it's crazy.
I think on that point there, I think we were saying about like obviously like the cheating and aim assist kind of in that same sentence there. Obviously, I noticed that you'd be like me, and I watched quite a few streamers like Benny and Jaff and Lackey and all that. And I noticed Benny says quite a lot when he gets shot and dies. He doesn't necessarily blame it on cheating, but he says sometimes he just doesn't know. And I guess that feeds into kind of what I was asking, is if he can't tell the difference between somebody cheating and it being aim assist, is he then not overpowered?
So this is why I have a slightly different take to the boys here about aim assist being in a balanced position right now, because first of all, if you compare it to controller versus mouse and key, aim assist being strong is obviously unfair in like a cross-play scenario, which most battle royale games are right now, where mouse and keyboard inputs load in with controller input players, and especially in close range hipfire fights, peeking around corners, those types of scenarios will show that people with aim assist have a slightly higher advantage, which is why you're seeing right now in a lot of the pro scene is that mouse and key players will use smoke grenades to help disengage aim assist to try and fight a controller player, it's becoming a common thing right now. You see people like Huskers and Breadman using smokes to fight in close range gunfights because they can still control how fine their aim is inside the smoke, whereas a controller player will lose all aim assist and they might miss a lot of shots. Now, if you're a pro, obviously they have mastered their aim without aim assist, so it'll be fine for them to fight in smoke. But for like people like me and Gav, who are casual people who play after work, we're almost rendered useless inside of a smoke cloud. So I think aim assist is overpowered in the sense that it doesn't need to be nerfed, but I think it can be fine-tuned in certain scenarios, especially when you think about console aim assist and then PC aim assist, where PC rigs have a higher frame rate, equipment to handle those frames and the hertz involved in those gunfights, which is why in games like Apex Legends, there is a slight variation in how strong the aim assist is on console than it is to PC. You have less aim assist on PC in Apex, and console players have more aim assist.
So do you think with Call of Duty adding smoke, I mean, it's always been in there, but actually removing aim assist from when you're in smoke, you think that's their attempt to try and balance the inputs from mouse and keyboard to controller?
I don't know if it was a direct realization that, we should make aim assist disengage in smoke grenades. I don't know if it was a happy mistake that they made, that they didn't code that, or if it was an intentional design where they realized, only mouse and key should be able to perform inside a smoke cloud. But if you think about it from just like a general viewpoint of a war-like game with guns and artillery, lethals and tacticals, the whole point is, if you're in a real firefight, you shouldn't be able to shoot straight in a smoke cloud.
Yeah.
So I think that was their intention, but I don't know if it was an actual design input to say, let's disengage aim assist in smoke.
I don't think it was an actual mistake they made. I think it's just the whole point of if you're in a smoke and one person's on keyboard and mouse, one person's on controller, you don't want the controller person to have full aim assist in a smoke, because that is just unfair and it's just gonna break the game. I don't think it's been a thing probably for over 10 years.
I think it was a result of them watching Modern Warfare 2's World Series Warzone, because that's when the smoke meta was ridiculous.
Yeah, because there's no movement in that game.
Every single gunfight was just people. You'd ping someone, you'd throw a smoke down, and then aim assist would do the rest. You can see them through the smoke. You were fine, and I think they had to just combat it in some way that they could possibly do it, and that was to reduce aim assist in smokes.
Yeah, I think obviously for me, thinking about aim assist, obviously because I'm on mouse and key and I don't really get it. But obviously I've seen what it could do. Obviously with using it as well, for a couple of weeks. I think there's personally, I think it is overpowered. I think sometimes it is a bit much, which might actually probably lead on to the next question. But actually, I'll address the question that Jay said about obviously me having my all arm to aim when I'm on mouse and key, which is a very common thing that a lot of controller players will say to a mouse keyboard player. Now, I guess to address...
Are you trying to tell us your right shoulder isn't wham from aiming so much?
I mean, it's true though.
I've got a really big
shoulder onto
It
your
must be so hard to just point and click.
No, I think what it is, so it's okay saying about having your whole arm to aim, but like I think the way I see it and the way I see it of your perception is that I've got my whole arm, but I don't just pick up a mouse and keyboard and do that instantly. It's something that you have to do and use as a tool. I guess it doesn't. It's something that you refine over. Like, I mean, I've been playing a mouse and keyboard for years, and I still not as good as what I think I should be. So what I'm saying is that you do have your whole arm to aim, but that doesn't just come in a couple of weeks. Where I can pick up a controller and start using aim assist, and which I did obviously when I used it within. I mean, I was sat with Gandalf and he was showing us how it works, and pretty much pick it up instantly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty much the same. Like you need to master both, and you can't just pick up a controller and expect to be God. You know, you need to like actually use it and know your dead zone, like how sensitive the sticks are. Like every controller is different. How sensitive the sticks are, the dead zone, like stick drift, all of that. And
yeah, I do get that, and I think I understand. And I think that works both ways, though. Like, obviously, I could be sitting here with a £3 mouse, and it wouldn't be as good as my £100 mouse I've got sat here. So, do you know what I mean? And obviously, you're talking there about different controllers and they have different senses. And obviously, I think a mouse is in that same bracket where you'll have different polling rates, you can set different DPIs, and you've got to find out what's best for you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that ties back into the conversation of casual gameplay, because a casual player who plays after work, it will take them longer to get good at an FPS game on mouse and key than it will them picking up a controller and being good at the game. It'll take less time to be good with a controller than it does with a mouse and keyboard. I think that's the point that Tantos is trying to make, and I think that's true, because otherwise why would you release first-person shooter games on console? You know, the whole point is that a person goes out to buy the game, or they buy it online now, and they load up the game and they're able to play it right away. Whether they're good with a controller or not, they should be able to participate at least.
Yeah, I'm not saying that controller, like a new controller player would get it instantly. I'm just saying that it would take time, obviously less time than a mouse and key.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It will take time. Yeah.
It will. Yeah.
Yeah, I think both inputs will be are very similar. I agree with Gandalf that it will be faster to do it and become half decent at the game on a controller than it would be if you picked up a mouse. I think that's what we're getting at, and and I think that's just the way it is. And I think that's what I was kind of getting at with, like, obviously using. Yes, I do have my whole arm, but that's something that you just don't pick up and do. It takes years of mastering and it's fair. Like same with the controller. Like, I'm not saying people pick it up and then instantly be competing in the World Series of Warzone, and within a couple of weeks, you when you guys play, you have mastered it. You know what I mean? You know how to use it. You know how to get the most amount of aim assist. You know all your dead zones. You know all your settings. You know everything that you use because you've done it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think
almost a memory.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you pick up a sniper, as a brand new player, you pick up a sniper and you know the basics on a mouse of how to scope in and shoot, making those fine adjustments is a lot easier than a brand new player picking up a controller and going to take that long fight.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would 100% agree.
Although, yes, I will 100% say that close range controller wins like easily.
Yeah.
But anything long range, like we're going to go back. You've got your whole arm.
Well, this is a good point, because this is I thought when you might say this, and although I do actually agree that using a mouse for sniping, say like mid to long range with a mouse is a lot easier than a controller. I think the issue, I think the part that kind of gets me is especially in Warzone, inevitably you're going to be pushed into short range fights, whether that's from your rotation or the end circle, because obviously the whole map's just getting smaller. Obviously, that's a massive disadvantage to a mouse and keyboard player, because you can't sit on the other side of the map and snipe somebody, even though it is way easier. Inevitably, the game is going to condense into a small range close fight.
I agree.
It's one of these things, and you look at the people competing at the top. They're using controller. There's a few of them that are mouse and keyboard, and every single one of the ones on mouse and keyboard says that they are at a disadvantage, especially in those end circles, because controller will just engage rotational assist and it will drag over for them.
Well, that's why right now, well, not right now, but a few days ago or last week, when in scrims, when the TR2 meta was not banned and was still a thing, mouse and keyboard players were actually taking advantage of that, and they were winning most of the games.
100%.
Yeah, they were.
You had Bread, Huskers, Metaphor,
yeah,
just taking people out.
Yeah, and a semi-automatic gun or a sniper is going to be way more effective on a mouse and key than controller.
100%, yeah.
It makes you change how you play. Yeah, it makes you change how you play as a controller player, because whenever I play with you, Tantos, and you're sniping and the map is quite open, the gas hasn't come in, I don't engage those long-range fights with my AR at all. I just sit there watching you snipe. Yeah. What I do then is I move myself closer so that I can fight, and I know I can win in those ranges because I know exactly how effective a mouse and keyboard is with a sniper or a marksman rifle, etc. So it does make you change how you play, and like you said, the close range fights get harder for a mouse and key. I know that, which is why I try to bridge the gap and close the gap.
Yeah, well, I think this is how it affects how I play. Like, I know when I'm playing with you guys, or when I'm playing with anybody really, I won't plow into a building, or I'll try not to plow into a building. Sometimes I do and I get killed, but it is what it is. But I'll like sit outside and wait for anybody running out, because I know if I go in, chances of me getting the kill is very low. So obviously it just adjusts how I play. You're just playing to the strength, aren't you? That's what you do.
Yeah, I mean you see a lot of the mouse and keyboard players when they are doing close range, they'll always go for like a Hipfire build instead.
Yeah.
Because that just keeps them able to actually move around enough. It's still not going to compete with aim assist, but it's something that you can do.
Yeah, I feel like aim assist now, because if you think back to MW 2019, MW2, I feel like this COD is probably the hardest COD to casually play and competitively play, because everyone's just so much more better. And with aim assist, it's obviously a lot harder, but I think everyone's just gotten a lot more better since the first Warzone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. I think it's just a player base, isn't it? Like, obviously, it has Warzone's been out now for like 5, nearly 6 years, is it? Roughly?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah, 5 years.
2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, man. The people that have continued to play through the ups and downs and the rough points and stuff, they've obviously all got better. You know what I mean? And that player base is still here. You know what I mean? So when you're playing, you're gonna come against good players.
I mean, I only started playing COD in 2020. I played the original Modern Warfare 2 and then didn't touch Call of Duty until Modern Warfare 2019 came out. And I'd say I've definitely got better, because, I mean, I was like a .44 KD at the time. But everyone is so much better now. The people that were half decent at the game when I started playing are now ridiculously good. They're the Jays.
I mean,
Maybe not that level.
But Jay's not that good. But I think to be fair, I think some of this, which we're not going to cover, but I think a lot of the players that you do come up against now, they are better. But I think skill-based matchmaker's got a lot to do with that. But I will do a different podcast for that, I think.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole different thing. So
that's one we can all agree on.
Yeah. So last question then: do you think? Well, how do I put this? Would you adjust or change aim assist in its current form in Warzone and Call of Duty? Would you do anything to it to make it more balanced,
wouldn't.
or would you just leave it as it is?
I personally wouldn't.
You'd be happy
Well,
with
Leave
it?
it how it is.
Controversial, but different aim assist levels depend on how good a player you are.
I agree. I disagree.
That's really hard to implement.
Yeah,
Because-
extremely hard.
I think maybe not necessarily to worry too much about the implementation, just ideas, I guess. Because I would side with Gareth there. I think the better that you get, I'm not saying the top players shouldn't have any aim assist.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is like when you've got the casuals that like I say, the people that are doing 2 hours a day, give them full whack. Probably currently, maybe in its current form as what it is now. As you progress and become better, it just reduces. And I'm not saying by loads. And like I'm not saying like when you get to like Jay's level where you're competing in like in tournaments and things like that, you don't have any. But it shouldn't be as strong. It shouldn't be the same strength right across the board.
Yeah.
So
I
my opinion on this is I don't think aim assist should have like a full-on nerf, but I think it can be balanced in two ways. One is that they can to make crossplay a better experience for both mouse and key and controller. Well, I mean you're affecting controllers at this point, but to make it a more fair playing ground, you can balance aim assist by sort of, I don't know how they could do this, but maybe tying it to sort of the frame rate of the device you're using. So obviously if you're on a console, you're locked to a certain frame rate and hertz. And if you're on a PC, there's, you can sort of break the limits and go up to sort of 300 FPS sometimes. I think aim assist could be closely tied to frame rate. So if you're on a very powerful rig with a high frame rate, one could argue that you could reduce aim assist slightly by whatever coefficient for those controller players, and it would be more fair. Now on the flip side, the second thing is they could improve the bullet reg for mouse and key players, especially in close range gunfights, where it feels like they've not got any chance. If they improve the bullet reg for mouse and key players in those situations, they might feel like they have a chance at winning those close range gunfights, and people like you, Tantos, could rush a building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think fine-tuning aim assist is the diplomatic / correct / agreeable answer. Nerfing it is definitely a hard no. They shouldn't nerf aim assist.
Go on, Jay, what do you think?
I mean, going back to the whole, the better player should have less aim assist. I strongly disagree with that because
I disagree with that as well.
Is that because you guys know how to abuse it?
No. It's because I myself I would not like to get absolutely aimbotted out of the sky by a terrible player. Let's say, in my eyes.
Yeah, but do you think that's really going to
No,
happen?
no, yeah,
Like
if
in
they,
general?
yeah, because if they have less aim assist because they're not good at the game, and I get beamed out of the sky, and then I can't do that because I have to make more adjustments. Yeah, I can adapt quicker because I play more, but it won't make it fun because I don't know. It's just gonna seem like complete.
No, I understand. I get it. Like, yeah, I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean. Where you're thinking like if you've got a lesser skilled player playing I guess doing what me and Gav suggested would maybe eliminate the skill gap.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
would obliterate
you know what I mean?
it because then you wouldn't be able to play in your lobbies if you start to improve. I think tying skill level to aim assist is not the way to go. I think tying your device capabilities is a better idea because we already know one battle royale game that does it, which is Apex. You have more aim assist on console because the FPS capability on console is less than it is on a PC, which is why console has more aim assist and PC has slightly less.
Yeah.
And only a good player will notice the difference. An average player won't know the difference.
I guess the argument to that, is you can have low-skilled players on really high-end PCs.
You know, we're all around 30. Sorry, Jay. And
well, I'm 40, but I'm 42. But
you know, we've got a bit of money now. Like, we can afford slightly better equipment now. It doesn't automatically make us good enough that aim assist should be reduced. Like, for myself, I'm playing on a half decent PC. Like, I don't want aim assist reduced based on the fact that I'm playing on a PC. Like, for me, that then makes my life so much harder because, okay, if that's the case, then I'll go back to playing on my PS5.
Yeah, and I guess
But I've got that option. Some people do not have that option. You got to think a 5-year-old PC is still going to be better than most consoles today.
Yeah, mine's 4 years old.
Okay, so then by that logic, we shouldn't touch aim assist, but we should buff mouse and key.
How would you buff mouse and key? Would be a good question.
Yeah, so that could be an entire conversation on its own. But like
100%.
But like, I know there's a lot of times where mouse and key players are shooting their gun or sniping or whatever, and they just feel like the bullet reg is off. And I think if they can fix that, maybe it's a server side issue, maybe it's I
think it's servers.
Yeah, maybe it's an engine issue on its own. No matter how much you compensate for the input delay and the latency and your responsiveness in the mouse, because I know there are mouses out there that are crazy fast and crazy responsive, but people like Huskers and Breadman can still get outgunned because the game doesn't help them at all.
Yeah, it can't keep up.
If they can adjust those parameters for mouse and key, then it would bring it to a more level playing ground so that people who actually want to play mouse and key will continue playing because actually the game feels good to them. It feels good to shoot someone in the game because the bullets are hitting. They can push a building and play a close range fight because although aim assist helps control the players in close range fights, if a mouse and key player can actually manage to handle those close range fights, they'll continue to keep playing, and the mouse and keyboard population will grow. Or even if it doesn't grow, the current mouse and key population will come back to Call of Duty and Warzone because mouse and key feels good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think buffing the hit reg for M and K players is going to fix aim assist because that's not aim assist.
I'm not saying it's going to fix aim assist. I'm saying it'll balance.
I mean, balance it, but it's not aim assist, is it?
No, it's not.
So, in order...
If they did it for one, they'll do it for all of us.
In order to have hit reg, you need to hit your shots. But that's just a whole different topic, really, hit reg.
Yeah,
because aim assist doesn't really apply to it.
I feel very attacked by you saying hit your shots.
I think we all did. I think we all did there, to be honest.
I think it's from Jay. Get good.
I just get better. Just get better.
To sum up, aim assist versus mouse and keyboard, it's a skill issue, bro.
Just get better. I mean, the thing is, I think, in all seriousness, I think overall, I think the game in its current state with aim assist and controller and mouse and keyboard players personally, I think it's quite close. I think it's closest. It's probably the closest it's been balanced for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably a couple of other things that I think they could potentially do. Like I said, whether that is maybe just reducing the response time of ANSYS by a tiny amount, just to like make it a little bit more of it even. And there's other things that you could probably potentially do. But I do think right now, I think it's still massively favours controller players. But I think mouse and keyboard at the moment, for me anyways, doesn't actually feel that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I've just thought of one way you could actually kind of tune aim assist. So, aim assist right now, it has like a radius of where your sight has to be and where a target is for it to actually stick to them.
Yeah.
It has a radius. So, to actually fine tune it, you need to decrease that radius. If they were ever going to do it, they need to decrease it, so you need to be more precise. But that goes to the same point. Controller players only have one muscle they aim with, which is their thumb, and PC players have their whole arm. But
we've covered this.
Yeah, I know. It's going back to the same thing, but
it is complicated because that radius is slightly wider when you're hip firing a weapon, and then when you ADS the weapon, obviously that radius gets a little bit tighter.
I'm sure there's a code in there saying
there is, which is why you have those
ADS radius.
No, but that whole hip fire to ADS transition is the whole reason why they implemented those aim assist types like Black Ops 6, Classic, Linear, all that stuff, because the transition time for that aim assist between hip fire to ADS is also a key factor. So you'd have to cover both ends of the spectrum.
Isn't there setting ADS transition like
instant versus gradual?
Yeah, instant.
Yeah.
There's a thing for that.
Yeah, but that again is, although I'm hoping everyone that watches this is running instant, by the way, because if you're not, then I don't know how you're playing Warzone. But I think gradual versus instant, I think comes with either A, comfortability, or B, they actually just don't know that instant feels a lot better, and hopefully this educates them.
I guess I think maybe kind of what Jay's saying there about standard X, making that circle a bit bigger for the hit rate for aim assist to kick in, but actually
smaller.
No, he's saying make it smaller.
Well, I'm thinking going the other way, where you actually make it slightly bigger,
make it stronger,
but make it so that the aim assist isn't as strong on the outer side, and it gets stronger the closer you are to the target.
You could do that, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's where the response curve comes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
The response curve literally helps with that issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which they do have in the game.
Yeah. I mean, we've already got skill-based matchmaking and skill-based hit reg. I don't think we need skill-based aim assist.
Yeah, definitely not.
Honestly.
On that bombshell. Right, we'll leave it there. I think I quite enjoyed that. It's interesting getting everybody's different sort of takes and different sort of thoughts. I mean, it's obviously, with me being on mouse and keyboard and you guys being on control, obviously my thoughts are slightly different. But I think my thoughts in general are that aim assist does need to be in the game. In what format is maybe debatable.
Yeah.
But I completely understand why it's there. I don't think that they should take it out. I think we could probably all agree that it could maybe do being tweaked a little, maybe just so it balances a little. I'm not saying completely nerf it and do all kinds of stuff, but maybe just tweaked a little just to balance it a little bit more. But for me, like I said, in general, I think it's the closest it's probably ever been for as long as I've played, anyways.
Yeah, it can be tweaked a little, but for me, I personally don't really care if it gets tweaked a little, because I play a lot more than you guys and some people watching.
Well, I think a lot of the pro
I'll
players
be able to adapt
won't
quicker.
realise. I think a lot of the pro players won't actually even, if they did tweak it.
I think
so
they'll
it was more
realise first
balanced.
game on, but they'll adjust.
Yeah, that's
It'll be like every change that they make. They'll realise, they'll tweet about it, they'll carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
But-
that's the whole point, is that the people who play this game for money will adapt.
Yeah.
Whereas a casual player, they may not have the time to adapt, and even if they do have the time, it'll take them longer to adapt. And
Yeah.
if they don't have time to adapt, then they'll give up playing the game, which will then affect revenue for the company, and then that'll affect game design
So I guess
decisions in the future.
I guess kind of what we're talking about there then is actually not necessarily adjusting it for controller players, but doing something on the keyboard and mouse input.
Yeah,
then
that was my take
Yeah.
on the situation. I don't think aim assist should be nerfed, but it can be tweaked, and how it needs to be tweaked, in my opinion, is just a balancing so that all inputs can play fairly.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
if there's any mouse and keyboard players watching, and you just one tip for if you're in a close range gunfight, just do an ADS.
Yeah, Hipfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do an ADS.
Hipfire that gun.
And also buy yourself a controller. It's
And
easier.
jump the
Buy
controller.
yourself a controller. That's crazy. After all this,
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, you either join them or you just, I don't know.
yeah, if you can't beat them, join them.
Exactly, yeah. If you can't beat them, join them. You know what I mean?
I don't have the
Wow,
time for
that's
that,
great.
Jim. I don't have the time for
I
that.
wonder what Huskers would say about that. What Huskers would say about that.
You chose the wrong input, buddy.
Yeah, I wonder what people will put, like, what opinions they'll put in the comments, because that'd be interesting to read.
Yeah.
It'd be good to find out what people are playing on and how they're finding it.
Yeah, definitely. Right, gents, we'll call it there. And
GG's.
stop it there.
Right, so as you can see, I think the general consensus about aim assist in Call of Duty Warzone is it should be in the game. I think it should be tweaked and changed. I think the other guys are maybe sort of leaning towards it's good as it is, but they use controllers, so they know how to use it. Obviously, me as a mouse and keyboard player, I don't get it all, and I kind of feel like it's sometimes a little bit unfair. Moving forward, looking at Black Ops 7, I don't think they're going to alter it. I don't think they're going to change it. It's so embedded into the game, and the low skill players need it. The high skill players know how to really abuse the mechanic. So I don't think they'll touch it. After playing Battlefield 6, I thought mouse and keyboard and controller players it was pretty balanced. You know, I still think aim assist was there, but I don't feel like it was quite as strong. And I felt like I could win fights, and I wasn't at a disadvantage because I didn't have aim assist. Again, that might change when the game releases. Who knows? So, in the comments below, drop your thoughts. Should aim assist be in the game? You know, moving forward, should we tweak it? Should it be changed? Should it be more balanced? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Also, I'm going in the description below. I'm gonna put in all the guys' socials and all their Twitch and all that kind of stuff. Go like, go follow, go subscribe. Please go and do all that good stuff. And obviously, if you want, drop me one as well. Right, I'm Tantus82. This is T82 Warzone Intel. Until next time.